Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday's live stream. I'm excited to see you guys. Adjust that a little bit. So, if you're new here, I live stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, Sundays at 5 p.m. Pacific, and I'm here to answer questions about mental health, relationships, your healing journey, wherever you might be in your healing journey, any questions that you have about that, personalities and personality disorders. I was a personality profiler, so I specialized in that, a personality profiler for the federal government. So I have some expertise in that if you want help with any of that. Okay. Hi, Bob. Ooh, got something in my throat. How are you, Bob? Thank you for being here. Here, I'm just pulling up the comments. Okay, good. And then, the first thing I wanted to, or I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I was just talking to a new client about this, that, when you have when you get into a relationship with a narcissist or a borderline or sociopath, especially just someone, I just label all like toxic personalities, right? Like, because it just feels very toxic and it could really rock your world and traumatize you, to say the least. But when you're coming out of that, you're very confused. You don't know what happened. And you try to blame yourself. There's all of these very heavy and intense and chaotic emotions that go on. And let me just tell you, if you're in the midst of that or any type of rock bottom moment, but especially getting out of a relationship with these type of people, and it could just be like a work related situation, and your narcissistic boss just really, you went through the ringer with your narcissistic boss or coworker, healing from those relationships is highly spiritual. It could be the most profound transformational thing that has ever happened to you. And if you have one of the, like, Bob could attest to this, if you have suffered with those defense mechanisms, borderline defense mechanisms, or narcissistic, and you actually want to improve yourself and take accountability for that, it could be the most transformational, most spiritual, most amazing thing that has ever happened to you. And your health, wealth, relationships, career, literally, and your connection with God, source, whatever you call it, will get better. I'm not talking about a little bit better, like a lot better. Bob has an amazing relationship, with his girlfriend and other thing, and it's just going to get better and better for him. And so please know that if you're in the depths of despair because of a situation that you just got out of, a toxic relationship you just got out of, this could be the start to the beginning of the best era of your life. That's why I get so excited when I get a new client that is attempting to recover from, or they've been attempting to recover from it on their own and finally want to work with someone like me. Or I get a new course student. I have a course called Thriving After Toxic Relationships and Narcissistic Abuse, because I don't believe it's like not just healing, not just recovering. Yeah, you're going to do all of that, but it's thriving. You get to thrive. You get to be like the best version of yourself. So, and that is what gets to happen. So if you're there and you're like, I can't live like this, I don't know what's happening, like my heart hurts so much, or you're personally struggling with some of those personality defense structures, it can get better. Please believe in yourself. I feel like you're seeing this right now to know this, that it doesn't always have to be that way. The thing I care about the most is you not repeating that pattern. I don't want you to attract another toxic relationship and keep doing this thing, because it could unconsciously become an addiction. So when you have this, it's like, it's going to suck. It's going to suck and it's going to hurt, and your heart is going to hurt, or you're just going to be feeling very defeated. But know that if you're ready to work on it and really never have that pattern happen again, it will be the start to the most amazing era of your life. I guarantee, I promise you that. Okay. I'm good, Bob. Yes, can confirm, confronting the issues and working through it has been life-changing. Yeah, it's life-changing. It really is, in the most amazing ways. So please know that. And like to reiterate that, because when you're in the thick of it, it feels like it's never going to get better. And it feels like the worst thing that has ever happened to you. And like your nervous system, all of your abandonment stuff is going off, like your abandonment wounds and everything. So it does, like, those feelings are very real, So it's not like, oh, get over it, feel better. It's like your nervous system feeling like you are telling you that you're going to be abandoned and like you're not going to be able to survive. That's why, so like heartbreak with one of these people feels like that, So like you're going to die, literally. Adjusting my thing. So it's okay. Top of my ponytail is weird. So, okay, yeah. So I'm here to answer your questions of whatever you have today. And also for you guys to know that like you're not alone. It's a era where you can feel very alone and like you're the only one going through this. I promise you, you are not alone. And I'm going to pull up some of the comments that I got. And again, you guys, like when I do stuff on narcissistic people, like especially if like it's like narcissistic men, so many people will be in my DMs like, are we dating the same man? Do you live in Ohio? Do you live in Nebraska or Florida? No, girl, I don't. And are we dating the same man? No and yes, because they all freaking act the same. Sorry, my hands are getting all passionate. So, but they all act the same, and that's what's so annoying and like mind-boggling and confusing is that narcissists. Let's just talk about narcissists, but like all the personality disorders have certain things that are in common, right? That's how they were able to get categorized. But they all do the same tactics with the gaslighting, with the idealization and the love bombing, and it makes you feel, even though you're like, this is a bit much, but you're like so into it, it feels so good, so you ignore a lot of red flags, right? And all my clients will be like, yeah, I ignored the red flags because this part of it felt so good, or I was like chasing this whatever, and then they devalue, and then they do the whole thing, and so you feel like, and then a lot of narcissistic men are secretly gay or whatever, and so it feels like this is the only one that you're the only one going through this, and so when you see a video like mine and it's like, whoa, we have to be dating the same person, we're not, it just seems that way because they are all the same. So, but this is good news. So once you get out of that relationship and in your healing, you could own all the red flags that you ignored and own what part of you felt like an immense desire to have that. So whatever it is, that need, that longing filled. Do you want to be adored? Do you want to be in a relationship? Do you want to be whatever that narcissistic person became? Because they become someone else. You don't fall in love with them. You fall in love with the character they're portraying to you. So what about that did you fall for? That because it'll pinpoint where the longing is, and can you fulfill that within yourself before getting into another relationship so you don't ignore the red flags? So just doing that work will really put everything back into place, and then you'll be able to see it. You'll start dating again, and it's like, oh yeah, you do that thing. I remember when I really, felt very confident dating again, and like, I don't know, guys would try to do the love bombing thing, or like if they had a fancy house, they'd be like, our house, and I'm like, no. And then what do you mean? I'm like, no. Does that work? I'd just be like so over it, and they feel very embarrassed. So you have that to look forward to, where you take all of your power back, and you will only attract high quality people after that. Oh, let me go back to, hold on. Here we are. Bob. I've had a fair amount of abandonment trauma, and all I gotta say is taking a stretch of time to actually be alone was very profound. Once you realize you can survive and thrive alone, it lessens the fear. Absolutely. Gotta be okay and love yourself. Absolutely. Yes. Really taking the time to be alone is so healing. And we're talking about that also on Sunday, and we've talked about it a lot, that when you are really, because that abandonment wound keeps you in these toxic relationships, and you feel like if you just ended a toxic relationship, it's like, I got to get back in a new one, and to just not feel this pain anymore. I can't tell you. And I felt that way before I did all my healing, and I've had clients like really like, they're like Lauren, How am I supposed to get over? Like, we need to be with people. And I'm like, I'm not saying to not be with anyone. I'm saying to work on this, because you're just going to attract the same dynamic over and over again. But when you really flush all of that out of your nervous system, and you need that, you need to completely flush things out of your nervous system, meaning other people, that relationship, your defense mechanisms, your abandonment trauma. If you can just be by yourself, it will like literally flush that away, as I'm saying, and you'll be able to create new neural pathways and then you'll be ready for a healthier relationship. And you'll just notice that the people in your life start to respond to you differently, and you'll start to attract different types of people, and you'll also be attracted to different things. Like if you got down on yourself and you would binge eat, you just don't want to binge eat anymore. If you had problems with like vaping or smoking, you just lose interest in it, because it's like you're not interested in things that kind of numb you out or dampen your vibration in any type of way. So it's so worth it to just take that time to be alone. And it's also so empowering to be in a relationship or not, or whatever. Hi, Miss Priya. And know that you are okay if you're alone. It feels good to be alone. Nothing can replace that, and then toxic people, energy vampires don't even stand a chance, which is also awesome. Bob, I did it kind of defiantly, though. I was like, can't abandon me if I choose to be alone first, but it worked out. Yeah, I'm down with that, because just like in the Dr. David R. Hawkins like hierarchy, but I'm forgetting what it's called, but levels of consciousness, right? So fear and grief and apathy are like at the bottom, all the fear-based things. And then you get to a point where it's like neutrality, and then I think anger, I can't remember where anger is on there, but you need that anger. That anger propels you out of those like heavy states. You don't want to stay angry, because then you'll stay in a fear-based state. But if it's like, fuck y'all, like I'm okay with that, like having that phase, because it could really like move you into a better place. Or sometimes I'll have clients, they're like, I'm so sick of being fat. I'm such a fat fuck and I'm sick of being fat. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to call yourself names, but okay, you're sick of it. So that whole like, I'm gonna be defiant about this. It can be a very powerful energy if it's used properly. So I'm down with that. Miss Priya, did you have any questions or any wins for the week so far? How is it going? How is it staying out of Jade? Jade is justify, argue, defend, explain, or even engage with toxic people. How are you doing? And Bob, do you have any wins for the week so far? Let me go back to my comments. And yeah, even in the comments like on Instagram, I love when people are like, yeah, here's what I'm doing to heal. And then I like when people are like, oh yes, like they come across a video, don't know anything about my education, and they're like, if you only understood the ego, then you would know actually everything. Shut up. Like you obviously don't know my work or whatever. I did want to talk about this. So someone wrote that their narcissistic ex was like hacking into their devices and going into their social media. I guess it's through Apple ID, I'm not sure, and erasing all the guys that she follows and looking at her messages and everything. That is illegal. Okay. So narcissists get to this point, and like sociopaths and just toxic people, where they start to stalk, and they want to manipulate and control you. They see you as supply. They see you as something to control, and they use you to either like offload all of their guilt and shame on, or they need you as like a prop, like, oh, look at this person that like makes me look good because we're together, or for you to love bomb them. But they also get addicted to you, and they need to control you. And again, I've mentioned that they could be fully in another relationship with someone else, married with 4 kids, and still be obsessed with you, especially if you are the one that broke up with them. So this is not okay, and I hear about this too much. And like, what's her that woman, Liz, the wizard Liz, that she was giving relationship advice. I mean, she's a narcissist dating another narcissist, and he started stalking her, and she's just like, I mean, I don't know why all these like people will. She's like 21, screaming at people. I just don't like her, right? Obviously, you can tell, but that was happening to her. Her narcissistic ex was like stalking her. So it is common, I'm afraid to say, and it is not okay for that to happen. You need to call the police right away and stop it. And like, if you're not, why? Are you scared, or do you kind of like it? Are you like wanting to go back and forth with this person? No, absolutely not. Please have that stop immediately, because it could get really dangerous really fast. Let me see. Where did I leave off? Hello, Miss Priya. Okay, Miss Priya had a few jade slips, but keep the awareness. That's okay. It's never about being perfect. It's progress, not perfection. So we want to just keep moving forward with that awareness. So even having that awareness, I bet it was so much less than it used to be. Bob, my win for the week is good management of me and my girlfriend both being cranky at the same time, but not making a big thing of it. LOL. That's a hard one. Yeah, because when I'm cranky, like I don't get enough sleep. That's the only thing that kind of makes me cranky, is not getting enough sleep. I mean, even if I'm hungry, I don't really get hangry, but like, fuck with my sleep, I'm cranky. And it can be difficult. So nice job. That is very good. And that's also a testament to you and your nervous system regulation, because you used to have a lot of borderline defense mechanisms where the borderlines, they're so dysregulated when you have borderline defense mechanisms, I like to call it, or you've been diagnosed, and you're just so dysregulated all the time. So that's a huge win for you to recognize it in yourself and your girlfriend and be like, okay, I could manage this. Sorry, guys. Miss Priya says, my question is, why do we get trolls causing us to question our decisions? Example, someone keeps criticizing your nail color, lip color, causing you to doubt yourself. Question your decisions. Well, why do we get trolls? Okay. So the good news is, the more you continue to work on yourself and the stronger your boundaries get, you won't even attract the trolls anymore. And so as you're healing, they'll still be around, but the more and more you just don't respond to them, because they are looking, if they're trolling you and they're making fun of you, what do they want from you? They want a reaction, right? So if you're not giving them a reaction, they're going to move on. They're going to get bored. That's why gray rocking, or what I call just be beige, and like be a bitchy beige, but I just mean like be boring, but be bitchy about it. Like just be like, the stare I do. So like they're saying, oh, your nail color, blah, 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 be like, and then just walk away, or just like, okay, go back to your phone, because then that shame is deflected back to them or reflected back to them, because you're not absorbing any of it. Because the last part of your question, Miss Priya, was causing you to doubt yourself. So that is their goal, is to cause you to doubt they might love your nail color. In fact, they probably do. They probably like actually love your nail color or lips or whatever you were referencing. So just keep that in mind, that they probably admire you in some type of way, but are trying to make you feel like shit. And it's kind of, if you think about it like that, and it's like your decision whether you are going to allow them to offload all of their gross feelings that they have about themselves onto you. And that's just a muscle that you get to flex, or you get to build up. So, and it'll get easier and easier. You're just creating a new neural pathway around reactions to them. Because right now it's like still like, oh, I want to defend myself. I want to go into jade, or I want to be like, fuck you. Like, you're wanting to be defensive in some type of way. So it will get better. And you're saying that you're having less jade slip ups, but the more and more you're just not available to them, or do the whole like, okay. And then it depends on like, if you could leave or not, but even just responding to them, it's kind of like, okay. I remember when this is when I still would, I thought I had to talk to my narcissistic mother, and it was a holiday. It was like Easter or one of those holidays. So I walked in with all my stuff, and I had my handbag, just holding my handbag. And she was just like, what is that handbag? And I'm like, happy Easter or whatever it was. And she was like, that purse, like what? And it was a nice purse. I'm sure she just wanted the purse, and she wanted most of my handbags. I'm like, go ask your husband to do that. Like, why are you asking for my expensive handbags? And I thought that you hated them, and so, but I used to take it very personally. So just stop. Like Q-tip. Let's go into Q-tip. What does Q-tip mean? Quit taking it personally. I love that one. That's actually from 12-Step Program from Al-Anon. So can we work on that, Miss Priya, this week? Can we work on going, like, just remembering Q-tip, quit taking it personally? How about that? Can you commit to that until Sunday and let us know how it goes? Underboss, hi, how are you, Underboss? Thank you. The deadpan stare is so effective. It is. It is effective, especially if you have one of these personality disorders, because you feel like, oh, okay, that didn't work. I didn't get the reaction that I wanted. And then you kind of like guilt and shame them in a way, because it's like, what are you doing? What? Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. And they might flare up a little bit more, and you're just like, I don't have time for this. If you completely become unavailable to them, they will find new supply. I promise you that. They'll move on because that's what they want. Hey, J Ro, how are you? I didn't see you in here for some reason. How are you, J Ro? So, but yeah, good question, because they can act up like that to get a react. But even if you just say to yourself, you know what, I'm not available to be their supply. They don't care about me. They just want to use me as supply. Oh, and then the thing about narcissist keeping you up. Narcissists don't like when you sleep. Again, they're very dysregulated. Narcissists and borderline people are very dysregulated. It just shows up in different ways. Borderline people are very like emotionally reactive, and narcissists try to get you to react and be like angry, or like just have some exaggerated reaction, because it makes them feel good when you suffer. And so what's a good way to do that? To sleep deprive you, and to not let you go to sleep, and it's another way to like manipulate and control. And it gets kind of dark because, in cults and in anytime you want to manipulate and control people, you sleep deprive them, right? And then when you're sleep deprived, what also happens? You're irritable, and they can be like, whoa, you're crazy. All of the things are, when you want to talk about something, let's say you've been wanting to talk about something serious and they deflect it all day, and then it's like they'll be like, oh, we need to talk about this now, right now, or if you're trying to like blissfully fall asleep, they'll like kick you or poke and prod you just to keep you up, because they're dysregulated and they like can't handle sleeping. So yeah, know when that's happening, because it could come up and like, oh, can you give me a back rub? I used to date this guy who did that, and he was a covert narcissist. So it's like, I'm just the victim and I need help. And my ex-wife is just victimized. She's just a narcissist. And she was a narcissist, but he was a covert narcissist. And I'd be falling asleep and he'd be like, rub my hand and like rub my feet. Okay, this guy's like 6'5". And I'm like, dude, like I don't have that type of energy right now. I'm trying to fall asleep. And I remember just like crying. I'm like, I'm so exhausted. Like from what? I'm like, cause I don't sleep around you. And so, yeah, it's because they're so dysregulated that they do that to you. And it is a way to also manipulate and control you. Because if you're damn tired, you're just easier to control. And it is something that It's one of the things like in domestic violence situations, whoever is the perpetrator of that, that's one of the tactics that they use, is to never let their victim sleep. So if you notice that, and it's just one of those, I feel like it's one of those things that it goes under the radar. It's a red flag that's ignored, for a myriad of reasons. Because it's like, oh, well, what? I just wanted a back rub at 1 a.m. Or what? You said you wanted to talk about this. Now I have time to talk about it at 12:30 when you're trying to sleep and you have to wake up at 5 or whatever. So they do that on purpose. So just be aware of that. And when you see that happening, don't go in another room and sleep, or just shut down that pattern. Shut it down. Let's go back. Hey, boss, Stephen. Lucky Wintro. My mom is one. When I was a teen, she would intentionally be loud or vacuum when I was trying to sleep. Exactly. Isn't that sad? It's just like, and, your kids like need naps and everything. And it's kind of like they just always want to cause chaos. And remember, narcissistic people also are addicted to drama and fighting. They are getting off on that. So if you're like, Mom, like, I'm trying to sleep. They're like, what? And they're like, okay, yeah, I got me some supply. We can have a fight now. They want the fight. They don't want the peace. The last thing, they are very uncomfortable with peace. So if you are trying to make, and like all you want, you desperately want is like, I want peace, and even sometimes the narcissist would say that, like, oh, I want peace. Well, then bitch, stop causing drama. Right? And they're not going to do that. So they'll cause the drama. You're getting all chaotic and irrational, like, oh, why are you so crazy type of thing. So they can keep projecting onto you and making you feel bad and feel like you're crazy. What a wimpy guy. Yeah, he kind of was. Yeah. Bertimus. Is this a place to talk about I think you meant mental health. Yes, Bertimus, this is a place to talk about mental health. That's so frustrating. Yeah, it was. Oh, wait. Oh, you're talking about Lucky. Yes, Lucky. That is frustrating. And it's just the thing. It's just they do that. Play loud music when, at all hours of the morning. Yeah. I dated another guy who would do that, and I'm like, you have neighbors and they're trying to sleep. And then the neighbors came over, like, could you not play music blaring at 3 a.m. because some of us work, it's terrible. Bertimus, yes, this is a place for mental health, relationships, spirituality. Yeah, not specific religion or anything, but just the intersect between all of those things: psychology, neuroscience, relationships, and spirituality for sure. Did you have a question, Bertimus, or like, are you on your healing journey? Is it all right to talk about how I'm sad? Yeah. How are you sad right now? Of course, you can vent if you need. Yeah. Is there, are you wanting to like be in a different state? Have you been sad for a long time? Fill us in. Young is I'm just going to call you Young. Don't understand. Miss Priya, people that treat us like a repair project, always trying to fix us. Do you want to be fixed? Are you asking for their opinion? If not, like, we have to go back to Jade and Q-Tip, right? So quit taking it personally. You're being used as supply. When I hear like this, like they're constantly going on you, they probably have a lot of insecurities. And so instead of looking at their insecurities and maybe doing some self-improvement, they're like, oh, well, I could just talk shit to Miss Priya and tell her how whatever tacky and all this stuff that she is. Trust me. I mean, going back to my narcissistic mom, I've always been in shape. I've always exercised every day, and she has not. Okay. And she's always, or, she, at least most of my life, she's been overweight and like put me down for that, and then just projecting onto me all the time. Then she gets on Ozempic, and now it's kind of like, oh yeah. And then she, like, when she was on Ozempic, and I haven't talked to her in 6 years, but she tells my dad, like, oh yeah, I want to reach out. And like, no, you don't. You want me to see that you're on Ozempic, right? Like, now you just look like a shriveled up hag. Like, you don't, who cares? Like, no, I'm still not putting myself in that, just in a dangerous situation. So it sounds like this relationship, Miss Priya, is doing nothing for you. So I would recommend, cutting it off. And I'm not telling you to just completely, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like someone you have to work with or a family member, but people don't get unrestricted access to you because they're family. You can still have boundaries or not talk to them at all. Okay. Bertimus, because nothing really brings me joy, and all of my friends are doing stuff between themselves, and I've texted them, and they are kind of ignoring me, and I don't have anyone to talk to. I've also tried talking to them, and they just keep thinking it's a joke and saying I'm wimpy and an a-hole. Oh. I've got 2 good friends, but they are on holiday. One is similar to me, and one I've known for a long time. On holiday, are you from the UK? Um, so it sounds like there's an opportunity to have friends that can show you some empathy, first of all. So I always say go where the love is. And if they're calling you wimpy and things like that, and like this is basic like name calling, right? And so if you're genuinely saying like I'm not feeling well or whatever, and they are providing no empathy or anything like that, or just even like sometimes with friends, it's not like they don't need to solve everything, but sometimes listening can help. Um, if you are going through like prolonged sadness, I would definitely think about working with a therapist or coach, like and someone that has like some type of like specialty. Because friends could be very helpful. We need like helpful friends, but sometimes they just don't know. And sometimes they could start to be mean because they don't know what to do. Um, but and then your other 2 friends are on holiday. Yeah, so let's stay away from anyone that's calling you a wimpy or a a-hole. And one is similar to me, and I don't know exactly what caused this sadness. And I would do personally 2 things. Get out a journal, buy one, and if you think you're bad at journaling, journal anyway, because especially with like pen to paper, because it helps rewire parts of your brain better than typing. You can type and if you want to, but get a journal and start writing like I'm sad. Where do you feel the sadness in your body? What is it like? What thoughts come up? Like just get it all out first of all, and then say if the sadness wasn't there, what would I be doing? What would I be thinking? And what's preventing that from happening? And also, and I'm just basing this on your support system, do I feel safe receiving love and support from other people? Because if you have friends that are calling you names and stuff, like maybe there's an opportunity for growth around being able to receive love and support, which is very common. I had a really long struggle with that, being like very nice to everyone and very supportive, but really having a hard time receiving love and support that I desperately wanted. So maybe you're right at a precipice. You're at the threshold of that changing, Bertimus, where you're kind of in this place where you could be like, okay, I'm kind of sick of not getting the support I need, and I feel very alone. And so you can change that now. Let me see if you commented on that. Why do you think you're being selfish, Bertimus? And I don't know, like, I'm really asking you, like, is there some truth to that? Because we can be addicted to sadness. So is it like I'm just in this sadness loophole and it's frustrating for my friends because they've tried to help me and I'm not taking on any of the help? That can be an issue. And we take accountability up in here, up in this channel. Or is it that you have non-supportive friends and that it's time to be able to receive love and support and maybe expand your friend circle? It's one of those. So think about that. But be in a place you have to be able to help yourself first and then reach out to someone or people that can help you. But if you're saying, am I being selfish? It's like, I don't know. Are your friends getting frustrated? But be really real with yourself, because that's how you can pull yourself out of this state. Lucky Wintrow. What sucked about having an NPD parent was ending up in relationships with partners who are narcissistic. Yeah, but that is, so whatever we don't heal in our childhood will show up in our adulthood. That abandonment wound, that mother wound, that father wound are all of it, right? And it's just an opportunity for you to heal it. So it's like, oh, damn, here we go again. My parents did this, like, I thought I was done with this in childhood. No, so you get an opportunity to heal that, and it will keep showing up. It will show up in your work relationships. It will show up in every relationship until you're ready to fix it, until you're ready to have the healthy boundaries, until you're ready to receive the love that you keep giving out, until you're ready to be in situations where you feel safe in a relationship. If you had narcissistic parents, you did somehow equate love with chaos, and love with dishonesty, and love with criticism. There is part of your brain that has associated those things. So you get to like uninstall that program and download a new one and create new neural pathways that revolve around safety and love and real love and support and all of those things being safe. So honesty is safe to you. Having your nervous system regulated is safe to you, because sometimes when we haven't healed, we call safe people boring and we're not like attracted to them. So we want to do that work to notice where our abandonment wounds are, notice what type of relationships that aren't serving us, that are toxic, keep showing up, and then like identify that pattern and heal it. And I personally love inner child work for this. So when so let's say it's an abandonment thing, or you're getting scolded by a partner just like you were in childhood. So can you go to that version of yourself and be like, you know what? You don't deserve to be treated like this. You did nothing wrong, or you made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, and give them a hug, and or just listen to what they have to say. And like, I know you're scared right now, but it's okay. It's safe for you to make mistakes. It's safe for you to show up authentically in a relationship and be yourself. And you're not going to get in trouble by being yourself. And reparenting that version of you, that inner child, will be very helpful. So, because we don't want to, that's the basis of everything I do, is that you want to identify the pattern so you don't keep repeating it. I want you to thrive in every area of your life. So we're moving past these things, and healing and growing from them. Bob, that's rough. That sounds like not being great friends. Maybe some new ones. Yeah, exactly. Burdamus, I've tried talking to them. Okay, we said that one. Bob, I feel that lucky. You can break through. Yes, you can break through the cycle. 1000%. Bob, 2 good friends are worth more than 1,000. Word. Yeah. And can you lean more on those friends? You're still blessed to have those 2. Yes. My inner circle is small. I have a lot of people that I'm friendly with and amicable, but like my actual like ride or die friends that have my back, this is a small group that, I give my energy to in that way. And that's okay. But can you lean on those friends? Like, I mean, even if could you drop a line even though they're on holiday? I mean, put boundaries around it. Like say, can I have a 10-minute call with you? So it's not like, okay, I'm on holiday, I don't want to, because I understand that too. You want to be having fun and in the moment, but like even just a text, like, like a little pick me up text. Yes, I'm glad you didn't turn out like her either, Lucky. You're welcome, Bertimus. Young. Okay. Yes, you should be proud of that, Lucky. Bob, taking care of yourself and advocating for your needs is not selfish, in my personal opinion. We all need help and friends. Yeah, absolutely. We do. And so that's what I'm saying. Either find friends that will love and support you and not call you selfish. But on the other side of it, like, because again, I'm not sitting down with you one-on-one, but if it is, because I've had clients like this where they're just so addicted to their sadness, and like their friends get frustrated. There's nothing I can do for you. I try to help you in all these ways. So I'm just balancing it out. Like, is it that? If it's that, like, you have to be open to receiving the help. But if you have friends that are just like you're wimpy and calling you an asshole, that's not okay. Even if your friends are frustrated, calling you wimpy and an asshole is not the thing to do. So there's definitely, no matter what, Bertimus, there's a huge opportunity to get a stronger support system. Lucky, thanks, Bob. I figure if you don't know what genuine love is, that would be really sad. I feel bad for her. Yeah. But, some people, like with narcissists, they refuse to experience real intimacy. So they're kind of like, okay, whatever, I'll just move on to the next one and stay in the love bombing phase until things get real. So you can feel bad for them, but also it's their choice and they want to keep doing that and finding new supply. So Bertimus, because I'm talking bad about my friends. No, you're not talking. So you're not really talking bad about your friends. You're just reporting the truth. So that's not selfish at all. I think that that's seeing things for how they are. But sometimes when we're so codependent and our boundaries are really bad, we think that even saying the truth, even though it's something they literally did, is that we're doing the bad thing. So you don't need to keep making yourself the bad guy and the victim. What they did was wrong. Calling you names is not okay. So it's not anything that you're doing. You're just saying what happened and that you probably don't like that. So there's nothing wrong with that. You're not talking bad about your friends. You're not saying that your friends are assholes or wimpy. You're just telling us what your friend said. There's nothing bad about that. Bob, Lucky, it's sad, but it is their choice too. See, Bob, we're on the same page. You don't need to carry that weight. Yeah. That's a big thing. Like, and I could say that too about Bertimus. I feel like you're carrying weight that's not yours to carry. And so and I do feel like to a certain extent, that's a trap we get into with toxic people, is like feeling sorry for them. They don't feel sorry for you. They don't feel sorry they just want new supply. They just want their like addiction met so they don't have to look at themselves. And, some of them can bottom out and actually feel sorry, but a lot of them don't and spend their whole lives like that. That's why I'm so passionate about, like, let's stop enabling these people. And they either have to finally look at themselves, or they could all like move to an island and torture each other. That wouldn't work for a long time, but I mean, that would work for like 2 seconds. Let's see, Young. I had anger issues for years in the past, never, and love or support, but carry bitterness and hatred in my heart for years. Yeah, and that hatred and bitterness is a defense mechanism. It's a survival mechanism because we trusted someone and we made ourselves vulnerable to someone and we got hurt. So we turn that into anger. And so anger keeps people away from us. And if you understand that you're doing that, it's like, oh, this is a defense mechanism. And you know what? It's a survival defense mechanism. And maybe I needed it to survive, but I don't need it anymore. So maybe I could just let it go if you want to, but some people can get addicted to anger and literally like rageaholic. That's like a real thing. So just something to be aware of. I'd rather you at this point, since you have that awareness, start to process it and start to let that go. Young. Steve Williams. Hi, BPD Bob. What's good, brother? The push-ups. Bert, venting anonymously valid to me. You're allowed to have complaints. Of course you're allowed to have complaints. Yes. And I want you to vent that, Bertimus, and also receive what we're saying is like you get to have a support system that serves you. You get to have a support system that like feels good and safe, not like, okay, my friends might call me wimpy, So, and you're hearing this because I think that you're open to hearing it. Like, oh, I deserve like love and safety in my friendships and my relationships. Bob says, "Hey, Steven, how are you?" Haha, did incoming stream. Bertimus, my phone is at 1%. No need to be sorry. Plug your phone in. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. I have this thing about the phone being like when your phone's about to die. I think that let me plug my phone. Oh, actually, I have enough, but like I think that is kind of a low-key form of scarcity, right? Like, waiting till your phone is at, like, 'cause I'm attached to my phone, so I've learned to have, like, my phone charging all the time because 'cause I'm always talking to clients or doing something, but think about it. Is it a form of scarcity, like, waiting till the last minute for it to, or, like, your bank account getting to a certain, like, what if you just always had more than enough? You had, always, like, way more than enough gas in the tank and energy on your phone and money in your bank account, and, like, what if that was your standard? That's just something to think about, because anytime it's like, "My phone is running low," or "this resource is running low," it puts you in a cortisol survival state. It just does, even if it's just your phone being at 1%. So maybe I'm inviting you guys to just think about it and always be in a place of abundance, like happy abundance. Like, oh, my phone has enough, my car has enough, my bank account has enough. This relationship I am in is like there's an abundant amount of love and understanding. Just something to think about. Um, is it hard for It's hard for me to heal. So saying that, I'm inviting you, young, too. I know it feels hard, right? It definitely feels hard, and I wanna acknowledge that. It feels difficult right now, but could you start telling yourself a new story? Could you start telling yourself, "Yeah, it's been really hard, but you know what? I get to heal, and maybe starting now, I'm gonna allow it to be easier. I'm gonna allow myself to, like, let go of these defense mechanisms and let go of the anger, and vulnerability will become easier and easier to me. I don't even maybe understand how that's gonna happen now, but I'm gonna allow it to. What if you told yourself that new story? Because if you keep telling the stories that you tell yourself, your brain just goes, "Okay, that's true. That's my truth. That's my truth." That's why I'm always saying, like, don't say, I suck at this. Don't say I'm broke. Don't say like, say that I'm accumulating more money. Say that I'm getting better and better every day at this. And with you, I would say I'm healing every day. I'm healing little by little. I'm healing. So can you change your story to that, young? Bob, young, it takes time, but you are more than capable of healing. Yes, slowly and steady. You've you'll get there. Just keep working on it. You already seem to have great awareness, which is a huge step. Awareness is the first step. Yeah. And I was saying that that's great awareness, but give yourself credit for that. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. Like, really allow yourself to, like, hear what we're saying. Like, you have great awareness and you will get there. But when we change our self concept and the stories we're telling ourselves, it just happens faster, because your nervous system, the limbic part of your nervous system, and all the cells in your body are listening to what you're saying and they're responding to that. That's why if you're sick, don't say I'm sick. Say, oh, I'm recovering. Even if I'm healing, I'm getting better every day. Even if you're in the depths of a sickness, I'm getting better, and it will get that. It will. But same with you. It's like I'm healing every day. Steven, I'm a little sore from last time. Oh, God. Let's do it. Waiting for my AC. Okay. Young, no one never told me or taught me about it, but dealt toxic. Yeah, that's what's the hard part, is like you feel shocked when it's like, I was talking about this in the very beginning of this stream. If it's like you've never had a name for the narcissist or whatever it is, or the behavior patterns, and now you're just learning, but you're learning today. You know it today. So from here, you can develop even more awareness and continue your healing journey. Take care, Bert. Come back once you charge. Yeah, definitely come back, Bert. Bertimus. Um, You've been unsafe for years, but you could be safe now. And I'm so, like, adamant about that because I know the feeling of being unsafe and, like, and I've helped so many people who have felt like their baseline state has been unsafe and, like, chaos for years, and you can get yourself to your baseline state of peace and relaxation. But you just have to start to identify with different things, and when you start to identify with different things, you start attracting different things. You don't like the same type of people, you don't attract the same type of situations. It's just these little steps. Okay, we're also not an exercise channel, okay? Just like how we have to stop when the I don't wanna say, you know what I mean, when people start going on and on about religion, we're not an exercise channel. I mean, can we replace the push-ups with, like, positive affirmations about ourselves? Some mirror work? Um, you can break out of it young. I promise you can break out of it, and you wouldn't even be, I don't know, even attracted to, you wouldn't have found this if you couldn't break out of it. Does it seem like it's hard and impossible? Obviously, yeah, we have times like that, but I promise you, you can break out of it young. Bob, you can young. Positive reinforcement. Tell yourself you can until you believe it. Yeah, it's about rewiring your brain. So your brain has just been running on this neural pathway, running this program over and over on a loop. And so when you know that that's the case, and you also know that you have the power to fix it, that is where everything starts to shift. But if you want to be like, no, it'll never change, and what's called arguing for your limitations, arguing for the problem, defending the problem, and then you're just giving more energy to the problem. But if you decide, you know what, I don't know how, but I know that I want things to be different. So every day I'm getting better, or like the Silva method, you literally say every day in every way I'm getting better and better. You just repeat that and repeat that and repeat that. And then after a while, it'll get more specific. Like every day in every way, my anger is releasing. Every day in every way, I'm feeling more peaceful. And you won't even give the word anger as much energy. You'll be like, because you're more focused on peace. I'm so peaceful. I'm so relaxed right now. I feel so happy. I feel so content. Like those words will start to take over little by little. Oh shit. Let's see. I can't find positively always and negatively my whole life. Yeah, I get it. But you know what? I'm telling you right now, because my brain used to work that way young. If I could do it, you can. And now I help other people, but we just have to decide that you want something different, or do you want to keep identifying with it? Those are they're two, and like they're two forks in the road, right? You could go down this road or that road. It's just like with anything. Like people getting in shape, they're like, oh, my metabolism and this and that, and I don't, whatever. Okay, do you want to get healthier, or do you want to keep talking about, and I'm serious, because like especially people that have food addictions, they will like pretend like, oh yeah, my metabolism, I don't eat all day, and then they binge eat 6,000 calories at night, literally. And it's the same with anger. It's kind of like, oh well, it's always been there. It's like, but you can decide right here, right now, on this live stream, that things get to be different. Hi, Jabbar. um Bob, I can relate to that. It is possible, though, young. Start by removing words like can't, exactly. And you don't have to believe it at first, but what you say to yourself has profound effects on the brain. You are more capable. Yeah, you're more than capable. And also, you your inner critic is like totally has the drivers, is in control right now. So if you're like, hey, inner critic, we had these defense mechanisms in the past, but I don't want to operate on anger. But you got to make that choice. Stephen, so difficult for us to be properly positive for ourselves, i.e., selfish for our greater good. But you're allowed to, brothers, treat yourself like someone you care about. Yeah, if you don't take care of yourself, you really can't take care of anyone else. And people that are toxic and energy vampires will accuse you of being selfish if you take care of yourself in any way. I mean, I've had people call me selfish for exercising every day. I'm like, I'm taking 45 minutes to exercise and I'm being selfish, think about it. It's not. It's their own insecurities being deflected onto you. Bob says, preach, Stephen. Young, because it had my heart beating. It's hard for me to let go and heal. Again, Young, I know this is counterintuitive, but decide that you're going to let it go. You have to make that decision. You're still arguing for your limitations. You keep saying it's hard, it's hard, it's hard. Yeah, but it kind of sucks to like live like this, doesn't it? So what if you decide that you are moving towards peace? You have to make that decision. Like when I work with clients one-on-one, I'm like, I'm not gonna, this is an expensive session to just hear you bitch, but I'm not gonna take your money so you can just keep the misery feedback loop going. We can break that feedback loop so you could actually be happy, but you have to decide that's what you want, Young. Lucky, sometimes it gets so hard you don't have like that rock bottom moment where it's like I need to make a new decision in my life. And sometimes it has to get so hard before that. But I'm like Joe Dispenza talks about this too. He's like, why wait for the biggest crisis of your life to have the attitude adjustment, to actually heal yourself? Because I mean, like God, the universe will do that. Like Joe Dispenza, his thing was he got in a really bad accident. He was like paralyzed from the neck down. They're like, you never walk again. And he, through the power of his mind and through his like, I'm doing this, even though the doctors said the opposite, he completely healed his body. And so now he helps people, but he always says that. He's like, please don't wait for the most terrible crisis to happen before you get your shit together, basically. But, sometimes we need that. So I would just rather you start healing before that. Bob, yeah, it's not going to get easy or immediate, but it's possible. It's worth it. Yeah, and if you don't, you're just making the other side of it worse. So we have to give energy to the outcome that we want. Your mind is that powerful. The more you give energy to the outcome you want, the easier it will get. And then you're creating all this momentum towards that. This is why I have 2 power banks on my phone. Yes, exactly. Me too. I have them everywhere. I keep one in my purse. I keep it drove me to drink. Like when you're drinking, so you're trying to numb out your feelings with drinking. I've been there. I think a lot of us have been there, and you could turn that around. That's why I'm saying to journal, so you could process your feelings instead of numbing them. Work with someone, journal. Bob, I can also relate to that. Are you still drinking? It will do you no good in that state. Yeah, the more you suppress, the more it's just like what is it called? Like whatever you bury alive. So if you're trying to bury something with drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex, whatever type of rage, addiction, whatever you bury alive. And that shit like comes up, even if it's like, what up, bitch? I was just growing underneath there when you tried to bury me. Now I'm 10 times stronger. What's up? Let's go. So instead of trying to bury it, what if we dealt with it? What if we process? That will actually release it, like in letting go. It's not about fighting it and it's about letting that shit go for real, releasing it from your nervous system. What I call uninstalling that program, which was the defense mechanism I needed to survive in childhood, but now it's driving everyone away in adulthood. I could let it go now. One thing that helps me personally, this is Bob, when it comes to negativity is simple gratitude. It's easier to push away the bad when you look for the good. Yes, even if it's just, I'm grateful for my coffee today. Yeah. Or I'm grateful that I could breathe. I'm grateful that I have this shirt that I like, or whatever it is. There's always stuff to be grateful for. It's been a long time coming for years and decades ago, because I been hard and tough. never told her. Yeah, but you can change that script. Steven, interesting phone analogy makes me think of other things we could be coming from scarcity mindset. Probably all sorts of things. Yeah, and that's what I mean. But no, they do matter because how you do one thing is kind of how you do everything. So can we not be in a scarcity mindset about that? There's enough love, there's enough resources, there's enough, and like this whole thing of like, oh, there's not enough, oh, I'm about to run out. Like that's, you're putting yourself in a cortisol state about scarcity. So it is something to think about, or, you know, like waiting until the last minute to get gas. Why? Young, oh my Lord, help me through this crap for years. You lucky, healthy, eat healthy, exercise, socialize, reduce stress, sleep. What are you able to help do? Do what you're able to help yourself. That's in your control, Young. Yeah, exactly. And be like, you have to be willing to help yourself. I feel like you're running a little bit of an addiction to the anger and an addiction to the past. We have to change our identity to what we want now. Steven, thanks for what you're doing, Chica. You're welcome. You're awesome. And I just wanted to let you know you're appreciated. Thank you, Steven. You're appreciated too. Thank you so much. Bob, Young, take the initiative to find the information you need. It sounds like you're at the end of the rope of living this way. Use that as motivation. Yes, we want that to propel us in the right direction. Like I was saying about anger, anger could really push you in the right direction if you use the energy properly. We're chilling with the exercise. Jabari, hi, Jabari. Hi, Bob. I'm good. Today, my mom and I saw Spider-Man. I heard it was good. It brought me back to child. Oh, I like that. Hi, Abel. How about you both? It was a good movie, longer than I expected. Okay. Hi, Avian. How are you? How you doing? Good to see you, Avian. Hope you are doing well. Nice. Steven, chillin' or about to be. Oops, wait, I lost my place. Steven, okay, chillin' or about to be. I'm getting this AC shortly. Yeah, Arizona must be really hot right now. I'm in Arizona. Yeah. Keep hydrated, you guys. Bob, good movie for sure. Okay. Young, it doesn't matter what your circumstances are. You can overcome them. But you have to be willing to release the past. You have to be willing to tell a new story. Hi, Peter. How are you? Don't be sorry. It's good to see you. I am doing well. Honestly, I've been good. I've had good and bad days, having a couple of bad days, but we'll accept and keep moving on. This is what I'm talking about, Peter. Like, Peter has come so far. Peter has taken, like, you know, what we've talked about in these live streams and decided to use them to change his life in a positive direction. Was it easy? No. Was it comfortable? No. But you did that, Peter. And it's like your life is moving in a more and more positive direction. And I'm so happy for you and proud of you. Like, I love it. Bob, younger. Oh, I'm sorry. Bob says, Young, your origin doesn't define who you are or your life, how your life goes. You do. Word. It can influence it for sure, but it doesn't damn you. It doesn't, you know? And, you know, whatever you think about Oprah, for example, like she grew up very poor and, you know, like just whatever, had a very rough upbringing. Her grandmother, who, you know, loved her, was just like, okay, you can become a maid. That's like the most high paying job. You'll do really, and think about telling, oh, she's a billionaire now. And her grandmother was like, oh yeah, just be a maid to some white people. They'll pay well, you know? And so, but she chose to do better for herself. And she's like, no, I think I can do better than that. But she made that decision, even though like her grandmother, who basically raised her, I guess, was like, no, don't do that. Don't go to Hollywood, or don't be a reporter, or whatever she was at first. So it's like we have to decide. Decide means to cut off all other possibilities and move forward in a positive direction. Um, Bob says, "Hey, Peter, glad you're keeping a positive mindset. Yeah, we're proud of you." Jabari, sorry. Have you been able? No, we're talking about that. Steven, okay, I'm happy to hear your AC is working. Peter, sometimes life overwhelms you with random curveballs. Just when you're taking care of one, sometimes something unrelated comes up. Life is going one problem. Yeah. And so, how about opportunity? There's another opportunity to reframe something. So, if it's like, okay, this is happening, let's say it's like relationship stuff, because I'm not sure what it is for you, Peter, but it's like, okay, this is just an opportunity for me to have better boundaries. Oh, this thing happened at work. This is an opportunity for me to speak up for myself again. This is an opportunity for me to acknowledge what I'm worth and ask for more, whatever it is. And it could feel like a problem, but I learned this thing from Michael Beckwith. He was talking about problems, and I guess the original word problem means like a pro emblem, meaning that like within the problem is the solution, which I thought is a very cool way. But it's true, like within the problem is the solution, and so every problem is an opportunity for growth. So can you get excited about that? Like I've had times where I'm worried about money, and then what happens? Another bill comes up, and then a dentist thing comes up, and then it's like, okay, that just means I get to receive more money because I'm paying all these bills on time. So I'm going to be open to that, and I'm going to be and coincidentally, it's always like I'm working on that, right? Expanding my prosperity consciousness or whatever. So I'm like, okay, all of these problems coming in are an opportunity for me to expand my prosperity consciousness, to receive more and with ease and joy. It doesn't have to be a grind, type of thing. And same thing with relationships. Oh, I'm expanding my ability to receive love, to be effortlessly supported just because I'm Peter, just because I'm me. I get to have all of this love and support and prosperity and health, whatever it is for you. Bob, yeah, there's almost always a new problem to solve. Opportunity. Um, it's hard to be positive, but always negatively, because these voices I hear of people talk in the soul. Yeah, but decide again, like I'm not saying it's super easy at first, but I'm saying that you have to commit to a new outcome, and then it gets easier and easier. Trust me, that momentum builds fast, but you just have this really bad habit. You have a super bad habit right now, young, and so you get to shift that. Jabari, Steven. Haha, Steven, that's good news. Glad you can stay cool again. Yes, we're happy about that. The algorithm or God sent you. God is the algorithm. Everything's God. Bob, true. Very difficult moment is an opportunity to grow. 100%. Jabari, whoa, Lauren, you're a Reverend Michael Benwith supporter. I'm not, but I remember hearing that like in a clip, and I was like, oh, that, because I really like knowing the etymology of words, or like where words came from, and so I just like that. It just always stuck with me, but I don't know a ton about him. But when but like the interviews I've heard from him, I mean, I feel like he has good things to say, and I like his stuff on manifesting, but I'm not like a Michael Beckwith expert. So, um, lucky problems are a good thing. If you are sick, you only have one problem. Yeah. Bob, young, difficult but doable. You got to find the motivation to change the way you think. It's a choice you make. And like a muscle, it'll grow. Yeah. Nobody starts by lifting 500 pounds. It's a small build. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Peter, thanks, Lauren. Maybe my life has been in cruise control for so long that opportunities are coming in bunches. Yay, we like that. I feel nature or God can space these out. Yes, yes. And just say thank you. And like, if there's a lot of opportunities coming in at once, it's like, it'll also, like, I feel like God is, God is your partner. Or if you have a business, also like God is your CEO. And so like ask your higher power, whatever you call your higher power, to help you out and to help you sort through the things. Maybe you're getting all these opportunities at once to test these new boundaries that you have and like which ones are actually for you and which ones are not. I'm telling you, it's a huge opportunity in disguise, it sounds like. An opportunity for even more growth. Stephen, after each problem we solve, it seems like we get better at it. Yeah, exactly. And trade up for bigger problems. Yes. And it's like, it's not even about like having a problem free life. Like, I want you guys to have champagne problems. You know what I mean? I want you guys to be like, oh my God, where do I put all this money? And like, what do I trust to invest? What color scheme is my yacht going to be if you want your yacht? Like, how big is my chicken coop going to be for Bob, or whatever it is, like, yeah, what is it like for you? Abel, people that heal are worth fighting for and not ghosting. Yeah, I mean, relationships are hard sometimes, and we have to engage in healthy conflict resolution. And you want to do that with people that you feel safe with and that also want the relationship as much as you do. Not that you're just kind of like in this abandonment wound chasing. Jabari, okay, Lauren, very cool that you love Word on a Munch. Michael Beckwith is good. Yeah, I mean, the stuff I've heard from him, he's good. And I like his energy, like how he talks about things sometimes. I don't know if he still has his church or not, but Abel, I get followed by helicopters in LA. I think they do it for protection or mental attacks. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing it for. Young, no, I can't fund motivation. Been put down, can't find no way. Just as black and white with no. Okay, well then if you want to stay in that state, you can, but you have motivation. You're giving all of your motivation to the thing you don't want. Unless you're really addicted to it. Like, and I mean this, like, it's a real thing. I'm not trying to like, you can really be addicted to victimhood. You could really be addicted to anger and victimhood and living in that state. And so if you are, the thing will be like, I can't. Just like an alcoholic says, I can't stop drinking. No, you physically can stop drinking, but you have a mental block that won't allow you because you'd rather be numbed out. So it's the same thing. And you could continue to numb out with drugs or with alcohol, and the like kind of like victim story that you're telling yourself, you can keep telling yourself that. You have that choice, but right now, like, that is what you're committed to. At any moment you can decide, like, and you don't have to know how. You can just be like, I don't know how, but I know I want a different life. And when you get there, Young will be here for you. Bob, it could be news people videoing traffic. LA is very active too, probably just people flying out. Yeah. Let's hope it's that. Jabari, overcome. Yes. Oh no, I'm sorry, Jabari. Stephen Williams. Yes, overcome and more will be revealed. Yes. Chili peppers. Peter, one thing for sure, it has seriously making me answer the question, what do I want? Who do I truly want to be? It has always been there, and the universe is making it impossible to ignore. I love that. You are ready to receive that because you could have ignored it in the past, but it's becoming impossible to ignore because you are open to finally understanding like who you really want to be and what you really want, because you're not allowing yourself to be controlled by guilt or shame or any of these other toxic things that these toxic people were doing to manipulate and control you. So bravo, Peter. We love that. Keep us updated on this. Like what gets revealed to you. This is so exciting. I'm so proud of you, Peter. Like you really, you know, Peter's such a great example of someone who's um, really just dove into doing the work and like not knowing how it was going to work out, but just kept showing up for himself. And look where you are now. Look what's getting revealed and how much better things are getting. Bob, you can, young. It's not easy and it feels like a lie at first, but it's a choice. Excuse me. It gets easier the more you practice positive gratitude. Gratitude is a very powerful energy that can immediately change things. And I think that's why it's such a big part of 12-step programs, because it immediately transforms things. And when people really aren't ready to heal, they stay away from gratitude. They're like, I don't have anything to be grateful for. But when people are ready to heal, they will do it. They can take tiny steps towards gratitude. That's why it's, especially in the early stages of recovery, they have you focus on that, and it kind of like weeds people out in a way, but it also can get your recovery even stronger. Jabari, same, Lauren, totally agree. Agape International Spiritual Center is very cool. Abel, I don't know either. It's annoying because it wakes me up. That would be very annoying. Get some of those earbuds, or like ear things. Bob, that's frustrating, Abel. I'm sorry you're being, but yeah. If you feel nothing will help, nothing will help. It's the same thing. And I could say that about anything. Like, if you're like, I'm fat and I'm never gonna not, well, then you're always gonna be fat. If I'm miserable or I'm angry, and if you believe nothing will help, then nothing will help. If you are ready and you believe, like, again, I don't know how, but then, like dead stop, young. Like if you are choosing to, and it's a choice, if you are choosing to believe nothing will help, then nothing will help. Of course you can't do this by yourself. That's why I'm saying get a support system, work with a coach, work with a therapist, even like go to a 12-step program. You don't have to get sober right away or anything like that, but it's all free. And they're the most loving, supportive people, like commit to that, young. Go to an AA meeting. If you can't go to one in person, they have a ton of them online. There's like literally no hour of the day where there's not a AA meeting or an Al-Anon meeting going on, but you have to advocate for yourself. Bob, I legit started with thanks for caffeine and it's now evolved to thanks for relationships, my community, my health. It grows. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a testament to you doing the work. Hi, James. How are you? Yes, nice to have you here. We're going to wrap up soon because it's late for Bob. I'm sorry for your loss. And, of course we'll pray for you. I pray for everyone all the time. Like, honestly, like and I just send out this big, like anyone that watches my live streams or my content and just that I work with personally, everyone I know, I'm just like always sending out that energy. So we'll be there. But like, if we're sending out those prayers, you have to receive that good energy, right? Peter, I will look back at this point in my life and realize what a transformation it has been, no matter how or where I am. It's like shedding skin. It wouldn't come easy. It won't come easy, but it will. Thanks, Lauren. You're so welcome. And you're right. You're right. It won't, but it will get easier. The momentum will pick up, but this part, it's like, oof, or any, like sometimes when you level up in any type of way, it's like, oh my God, I don't know if I could do this. And then it gets easier and easier. And that's true with anything, any like new thing that you're overcoming, a new boundary you're creating. Anytime you're leveling up in life, there's that point of like, oh gosh, this is a lot. And then it's like, ooh, and then it becomes normal for you. And then you're on to your next thing. And it's really exciting because that's what we're here to do. We're here to evolve. Yes, that is the right attitude, Bob says. Abel, when my mother died, most family never reached out to me again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. Maybe you could ask them, but also let's go where the love is. So go where you are loved and supported. That's Let me read it from here. That's rough, Abel. Yeah, it is. There's no such thing as a stubborn gene, I have to tell you. So you're very committed to this story of like keeping yourself in place. So if you want to, I just like I have my boundaries around that. Like we're trying to help you and then you're arguing for your limitations, young. So we are all telling you, we are all people, me, Bob, and Peter. We're all testaments to coming from rough situations and transforming our lives. If we can do it, anyone can. But if you want to keep arguing for your limitations, like I don't know what to tell you, then it's going to be that way. Like I keep saying and repeating myself. But there's no genetic like component to being like there's no genetic component to being stubborn or any of these things. It's a learned behavior. Young, I used to be, Bob says, young, use that stubbornness to be stubborn towards your growth. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, use the energy that you're giving the problem, give that stubbornness, that energy to the solution. So you can be stubborn about like, you know what? I don't fucking care. I am going to be the best version of myself and be stubborn to that. Right now, you're just giving energy to the problem. Steven, I gotta bounce. Much love. Thank you, Lauren. You're welcome. Keep telling the truth that we can, we do, and we appreciate it. Thanks for your prayers and for laying out faith and prayers are. Thanks, Bob. Bob says, take care. Lauren Jabari says, Lauren, I've got a testimony too. You have a testimony? Night, Stephen. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you Sunday. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap up too. So until Sunday, we are going to be the main character in our life, right? And we are going to, even if it seems insurmountable, deciding like whatever it is, health, wealth, relationships. I'm getting that career that I want. I'm making these moves. I'm going to allow myself to receive this amount of money, even though I've never done it before. I'm going to start to live in a state of peace and joy, even though I don't know what that's like, but I'm going to commit to that. So we're committing to the outcome that we want. We're committing to the version of ourselves that we want. And I promise you it will show up. Yeah, testimony for overcoming adversity. Yes. Oh, yes. Sunday is 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. on Sunday. Thanks, everyone. Lucky says, thanks for everyone being supportive. It's really beautiful to see people come together like this. I know, I love when you guys support each other, and I love even more when we're giving support and you receive it. That means you're on your way to something good. Good night, dear. Oh, I stand corrected. Oops. What do you mean? Stand corrected about what, Bob? Did I miss something? Yeah. So on Sunday, it's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. So yeah. But yeah, I'll wrap it up. Amazing questions, you guys. And I love how supportive you are of each other. I wouldn't even talk about it. Let me know what you think about getting a Discord going. And we could just hold each other accountable for like our goals and things like that. And yeah, and then maybe like for people that I'll create a tier for people that want to do like calls like this, and we could have Zoom calls, and then I'll be able to talk to you guys like, so I don't know. Let's see how that goes. Jabari, Lauren, and Bob, while we're here, can you please put your YouTube stream times in the description? Oh yeah, thank you. That's a good idea. I will put that in my channel after I get off this call. Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. I don't stream. I'm just a viewer. Yes, no, Bob holds it down. Bob is my moderator, and you are very much appreciated. And Bob, like, let me know if you ever want to, we could, like, the platform I have, we could do it where like you jump on too. And, you could say your comments out loud if you wanted to ever do that, on one of these streams. No pressure, but, like, if you wanted to, um, that would be fun. Um, Recently, I was like, "What time is Lauren's Sunday?" and visited your okay, no, great suggestion. Put a, what is it called? Like a notification on your YouTube, and it'll show, like, when I'm live streaming, it'll give you a notification on your phone also, so you don't have to just remember it all the time. And then I think it also does, like, anytime I release a video, so let me know or do that, do the notifications, and I will do my end of it. So, great idea. Happy to help. These are very helpful. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Yes. Um, and I feel like we didn't have as many trolls tonight, which is nice. Jabari, really, Bob? Well, dang, thank you for yes. Thank you so much, Bob. We so appreciate you so much for keeping the streets clean and also, like, your amazing feedback. It's really so good. Yes, Young, we will continue to pray for you. Um, yes, and you could release that weight off your shoulders anytime. Yes. Yeah, Bob, you're very useful between helping us or helping me moderate and all of the support you give. And then, like, how friendly you're just like it's like he's the most he's the hostess with the mostest, like, interacting with everyone and giving all the positive feedback. Like, so appreciative to have you, Bob. Thank you. Yes, I'm praying for all of you guys and sending you guys all lots of love and prayers all the time. So happy to have all of you. I will see you on Sunday. I'm going to add that to the description and I'll make a banner too. I need to change the banner. I'm still like my banner still has me in my red wig. I should resurrect the red wig and do some content with it, but in the meantime, I will add those times. Yes, appreciate the kind words, Bob. This is my first time here. Welcome, Lucky. Jabari, I will pray for you, Young, for positive transformation and the renewing of your mind. Yes, all transformation comes from the renewing of your mind. One of my favorite Romans, whatever it is, my favorite Bible quotes. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind, y'all. For real. I love your hair tonight. It's in a ponytail. Got my ponytail going. Wag it around. Of course, Lucky, come back. We're happy to have you. Yes, we'll see you on Sunday, Lucky. For sure. Okay, guys. Love you guys. Love you guys so much. And I will see you. Romans chapter 8. Yes. And I'll see you on Sunday, okay? You're so welcome. You're so welcome, guys. Love you. See you Sunday.